What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my very first blog of 2024. Each week of 2024, I'm going to be posting a blog about different experiences I've had as a musician. No, this won't be the glossy social media savvy post or even about what happens on stage, at least most of the time. Nah, these are going to give you the behind the scenes, gritty look at the humorous, irreverent, and ground level look at the musician's path. And of course, some of the names have been changed to protect people and places and egos and such, but generally speaking, this is my version of the truth. Hope you enjoy it. This is Stories from the Loop Loft, Volume 1. Hotel room hijinks, fishing trip, and late night negotiating. One morning years back, my now ex-girlfriend and I shoved off from Las Vegas on our way to Seattle for a festival I was invited to perform at. We slogged our way through the early morning traffic, dodged an array of traffic cones that littered nearly every foot of freeway across town, and finally pointed our rental north to the Oregon state line that, as the crow flies, lays nearly 400 miles north of us. Upon the last turn onto the freeway that would lead us north, the reality of the 2,000-mile commitment finally sunk in. We loaded the playlist, checked the gas levels once more, and hurled ourselves north into the vast expanse of the Great Basin Highway. Flat desert gave way to desert hills, hills gave way to mountains, mountains gave way to high desert plains and isolated mining towns that, frankly, had smaller populations than the inside of a rental van. Merrily, we chatted away through all these places that, despite being a native Nevadan, I had never seen. For those who may not know, Nevada ranks 7th in overall size. Much of Nevada's open land at night has some of, if not the darkest skies on the West Coast. We crossed into Idaho at a place called Jackpot, Nevada, and gassed up to make the final push for Idaho Falls. The last of the desert made way for farmland, and at dusk we entered Twin Falls and slid into a booth inside of a local restaurant. Raised in Vegas and usually based there, I've come accustomed to a breakneck speed of people, driving, service, and life. And the 10 minutes of waiting on our server to come greet us reminded me that the Vegas service standard is exactly that, Vegas's. Bellies full, newly rehydrated, we headed to our hotel. Double checking our confirmation email, we headed inside. The hotel clerk looked like, well, imagine you go to a Phish concert. The dude you pass in the parking lot who might be with the band, or might be a vendor, or might be a fan. He looked like that guy. We load up the luggage cart with suitcases, PA, my rig, and a cooler. I'd read too many stories of bands on tour who left their gear in the van only to find it gone in the morning. The elevator bell dings, and we exited the elevator and turned toward our hotel room. By this time, it was nearly midnight. The miles were long, and a shower and bed was the only thing on my docket. I'm handed our hotel key card and opened the hotel room door with a dry creak. It wasn't the late 90s blue-green carpet that caught my eye in less of a second, nor was it that the room smelled of stale cigarettes. No, it was something a little bit more alarming. It was the dude laying in the bed sideways in full construction kit, boots, jeans, the whole thing. Completely passed out and oblivious to our presence in our room. We head downstairs and find the clerk pie-eyed on his cell phone, feet on his desk. He looks up from his phone and over the top of his wire-rimmed glasses. Can I help you, sir? Yeah, there's a dude asleep on my bed. The clerk asked me to explain what happened, so I do. And his only reply, well, did you explain to him that it's Your room, sir? Time freezes. I look at the clerk. He looks at me. A second or three creaks by on the analog clock in the hotel lobby. Stale donuts lay forgotten under glass that needs a towel taken to it. Brochures litter the foyer floor. Diesel trucks groan down the freeway just outside to far-off ports of call. The clerk's beard somehow looks messier than it was the 3 minutes ago I was standing in front of him. The ice machine kicks off down the hall. No? I reply. I figure that between keeping my girlfriend safe, the thousands of dollars of music gear I have, and not to mention my own safety, I figured me trying to negotiate a newly awakened grown man in the middle of the night in full construction kit probably wasn't in my best interest or in his scope of negotiation tact. The fish head stares at me. The collar on his tie-dye t-shirt sags. His sandals sit beneath the neighboring desk unworn. The man with the fully loaded luggage cart has interrupted his late-night loafing session. And for some reason, wants a hotel room that is clean, affordable, and apparently unoccupied. We're given another room on another floor that still smells of stale cigarettes. The next morning, I relayed the previous night's proceedings to the daytime manager and was given an envelope with her business card taped to the front and an apology as we departed. We left and loaded up on juice and split a bagel 2 ways as I stood on the accelerator until Idaho Falls disappeared from view. Late that afternoon, the vineyards of southeastern Washington filled the van with a sweet aroma. So, what was in the envelope the manager handed to you? BX inquires. Long forgotten, I pulled the envelope out of the glove box and hand it to her. The late afternoon shadows run long across her eyes as she examines the content of a letter tucked inside the mysterious envelope. Upon reading it, her eyes find mine. She says, "It's a gift certificate for $200 to stay there again." I sigh and mutter a reply as a sign welcomes us to Yakima, Washington. You know what? I'd pay $201 not to stay there.